nobody should ever have to experience the feeling of riding out of the mountains without their buddy. The night before he passed, he said, if I die tomorrow, I'm okay with it. I've lived a good life, and that was Rob. Rob was so kind and such a good person that he said that for us so we can cope with the fact that he's not here anymore. I felt like he would tell me, God hates a coward. You know, you can't walk away from this that we've built.
When I was a kid, I had no idea that I was ever going to become a professional snowmobiler. I don't know if I was born in the right place or moved here at the right time. I don't take it for granted, and you know, I'm just out there trying to do the best I can and ride this roller coaster as long as it lasts, because it's freaking awesome.
Town's at 8,885 feet dry. That's 2,000 feet higher than God's country.
I was on that ride that my dad passed away, and after witnessing that, I was like, it's a big deal. So it was just panic, like everybody's scared. After witnessing that, I was in the same boat as Dave. Like, I wanted to give up snowmobiling. Like, it's way too dangerous. I don't want that to happen to anybody. I can't give up. Like, my dad wouldn't want me to give up just because that happened. Like, and I think it was a sign for me to get avalanche training. Like, I need it.
You know, 99% of the time, you're going to go out and you're not going to get in an avalanche, and you're not going to be affected by it, and everything's going to go okay. But that risk is always there. And I think one of the things that makes it hard for us to comprehend is that most of the time it doesn't happen. You know, we might read about it in the news, or, you know, see a couple posts online of something bad happening in another state or somewhere far away from us. But you know, when it happens to somebody close to you or in your community, or you know, you have a close call, usually that's what would make somebody think twice and start to seek out education and realize that it's something that they have to address.
I think it was 2014. I was leading a group of clients, and I would consider myself a rookie at that point. And I had a pretty bad near miss where I triggered a sizable avalanche that definitely could have buried me. And it was a big wake-up call for me. And so that kind of sparked this desire to, you know, take more avalanche classes to become more knowledgeable about them. So in I believe it was 2016, we headed out to Lake Tahoe, my business partner Matt and I, and we did an instructor trainer course, and it was one of the first ever motorized specific avalanche instructor trainer courses. And so from there, if I wanted to further my avalanche education, it was kind of through the route of becoming an instructor. And so that was pretty exciting to me, because my favorite part about being a snowmobile guide was teaching folks. And so it's kind of been a natural progression going from guiding to becoming an avalanche instructor. To be a dialed mountain rider, you need to, you know, get that formal avalanche training so that you know what to look for in the snowpack, as well as the terrain, and then understand kind of how the snowpack and the terrain coincide, to know when you have safe avalanche conditions to be out in big terrain. I think riding big terrain is something that a lot of us as mountain riders strive to do. You know, some of my most fond memories are days riding with really good buddies, like kind of like my A team, out in big mountains with a lot of avalanche terrain. It's fun to kind of push yourself in terrain like that, but it's really important to recognize that you need the right, you know, snowpack conditions to match that terrain. You know, as an avalanche educator, whenever there's a fatality in the West, we see a spike in people taking avalanche classes. And I think that's kind of what I'm trying to get at, is to convince people that that hazard's always out there, right? Every winter we're dealing with avalanche problems as mountain riders. And so let's get ahead of that. Let's be proactive and get the training so that we are making good decisions in the mountains and we get to come home.
You know, the way that we use the mountains in the backcountry as snowmobilers is different than a lot of other people, and it's really going the next step and not really just doing the easy things like buying the equipment and wearing it, but really digging into the training and learning how to use it, and most importantly, knowing how to avoid avalanches. You know, an avalanche rescue, even if you have all the gear and you have the training, is still gonna suck. There's no guarantee that just because you know how to use your transceiver that you're gonna save your riding buddy. There's so many things that are stacked against you that you just don't want to be in that position in the first place. And so it really takes a bigger understanding of terrain and the weather and the conditions and group dynamics. And that's the kind of stuff that is focused on in avalanche courses these days. The courses that are out there now are specifically catered to how we ride and how we interact with the mountains and everything that we do. And it's really, we've never been at a better time in the sport as far as the opportunities that are out there.